The microphone to the Councillor of Côte d'Ivoire et UPAC.
Mesdames et Messieurs, je voudrais, au nom de Son Excellence M. Daouda Diabaté, ambassadeur, chef de mission, vous souhaiter la bienvenue à l'ambassade de Côte d'Ivoire à l'occasion de cette sympathique cérémonie organisée par la Fondation Aide Unite de Madame Bintou Diomandé, excusez-moi. In French English, yes, I want to tell you that on behalf of the Ambassador of Côte d'Ivoire, His Excellency Daouda Diabaté, I want to tell you welcome in the Embassy of Côte d'Ivoire. In a few minutes, His Excellency will take the floor to give you the real message. Thank you.
Dans ce lieu, nous prions ce soir que toi tu bénisses cette soirée, car nous savons que la bénédiction vient de toi, éternel Dieu. Nous prions que tu bénisses en particulier tous les participants et les organisateurs. Et nous voulons te présenter ce que nous venons honorer ce soir à travers cette célébration. Excellence, Diabaté et épouse, nous voulons te les remettre entre tes mains. Que toi qui as ouvert la porte pour qu'ils puissent venir servir notre nation de la Côte d'Ivoire dans la grande nation des États-Unis. Que toi qui as permis qu'ils puissent être utilisés dans les États-Unis et que toutes ces années tu les as gardés, tu les as utilisés que toi tu continues de les soutenir.
Last time I was at the ambassador's residence and we gave him the program. Soon as we gave him the program, he gave it to Auntie Cecile. So we looked at him and we said, oh, what's going on? He said, yes, she's my assistant. So can you imagine how many times he did that? 100,000 times. That means that she was there all this time to support him. So I'm asking you to join me, to stand up and say thank you, Auntie Diabate, for all the work you did, for your leadership, your support. Thank you so much, and we love you. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, when I was told that Ambassador Diabate was going back home, I'm going to be honest, I did cry. I was sad, very sad, because when we have, we need advisors, he's there. He's a good mentor. Everybody you ask in the Washington, D.C. area, we all know that he has been a good ambassador in Washington. So that's why I wanted to ask you as well to stand up again and say thank you, Papa Dauda Diabate. Thank you so much for what you did. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We can see you. Thank you. So I'm going to thank also Nene Barry. Big sister, forever, we love you. Thank you so much. She's a good supporter of us. So let me thank Sylvester Okiri. Sylvester Okiri, our partner, is here. Thank you. We love you too. Thank you so much for your support. We have also Senator Anthony Mouse. I guess he's not here yet, so he's a good supporter. We wanted to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I wanted to thank our supporters and also the donors and the sponsors, because you can have good ideas. If you don't have the funding, you can do anything. So we thank you guys so much for supporting us. So also anybody in the room, if you can help us, you can support us, please contact us. So we need your help. Thank you so much. So let me thank also the volunteers. Wow, they are incredible. So I wanted to thank all the volunteers here in the room. Thank you for your help. Thank you. So I'm not going to stay longer here. So we love you. Thank you, everyone who came here to the gala. Thank you. So let's start it. Thank you.
Each year, which focus on different needs in the Ivorian community and seek to improve the overall quality of life which citizens face each day. These programs provide them with the advocacy, training, empowerment, support, and hope that they need, which is essential to facing the future with fortitude, equipped with wondrous tools of efficacy towards becoming the kinds of people they so dearly desire to exemplify. The Stop Violence Against Women, or AWARE campaign, which stands for Africans Working to Address, Respond, and End Violence Against Women campaign, that aims to change attitudes about violence against women. According to the World Health Organization, violence affects 1/3 of all women globally. Women in Africa can be considered most at risk and in danger. The United Nations states that 46% of Ugandan women, 2% of Tanzanian women, 42% of Kenyan women, and 40% of Zambian women report physical abuse. In a Nigerian survey, 81% of married women testified to being verbally or physically abused by their husbands, and in an even more startling turn of events, 46% report being abused in the presence of their children. AWARE uses a multi-pronged approach that targets different divisions of the population in varied ways that are most appropriate to that section. The major components of AWARE are actions in primary schools, secondary schools, and university seminars, a media campaign, all-female soccer games, and an annual conference in Washington, D.C. AWARE is also working with our contacts in the government to include topics surrounding violence against women into these mandatory civic and moral lessons, which is part of the curriculum taught to students in several African countries.
Raise money too, but I want you at the beginning just to thank her for being who she is, because this is God's work. This is God's work. So please give her another big hand. Jessica, thank you very much. We appreciate you and love you, and we'll be here for you consistently. Let me also say thank all of you for being here, because clearly your being here is a demonstration of your support for her work, but more importantly, that you are Africanness in your thought wherever you may come from. Even though all of you know everybody comes from Africa. All humanity comes from Africa. So wherever you are, whatever you do today, you are African, and we want to celebrate your Africanness, okay? Jessica said that when she heard the ambassador leaving, she got sad. I actually cried. You know what this brother is to me, the ambassador leaving. This young man here, he has been here many times. We have given him the key to Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, many, many times. He is an honorary citizen. We love him. We've had him up to all of the universities, and every time I call, he comes. And I just want to thank you publicly for all of your work, your contribution, and your leadership on behalf of Cote d'Ivoire, but also the entire African community. We want to thank you very much. Please give him another hand. For the ambassador from Togo, this is my first time meeting you, so I apologize, Excellency, but I was living in Togo probably before you was born. I helped to put the farm up in Natchez, and the OIC farm in 1976 to 79. I lived there, putting a farm there. I lived in Lomé, I lived in Natchez, Akak-Pamé. They travel all over the country, so we want to thank you for being here. And
the United States of America. So this is an experience about women and men and immigrants, what we go to and go through. So this is my piece. I didn't know I was black till I came to the United States of America. That's when I realized, hey, I'm black. Because you know, back in my country, it's not about the color of your skin, it's about your ethnic culture. So you see now, my friends are telling me, Hannah, you better be careful because you're driving while black. I'm like, eh? Driving while black? Oh, I will be at the mall in the dollar store, mesmerized, just moving from aisle to aisle, seeing all these beautiful things. Then I feel somebody following me behind like I'm about to steal something. That's when I realize, oh, I'm black. Oh, I will be in the metro, right in the train. I get a phone call from my mother all the way from Kenya. I pick up, I say, hello, mommy, hey, sikuski, I can't hear you. And everybody start looking at me like I'm a terrorist. That's what it is. I'm black. Because you know, back in my country, you know those days, even now, 98% of us are Africans, Now there is that 2%, the one we call Wazungu, in other words, white people, Now those ones, no one tells them that they are driving while white. Nobody follows them around. Nobody tells them that they are white immigrants. Matter of fact, some of them get first-class treatment, and some of them live in those big ranches, which their ancestors looted from my ancestors. They just came and took. Can you imagine? And here I am now, in America, just trying to buy a loaf of bread, and I'm being followed. So I started saying to myself, what if Africans took over a white neighborhood somewhere, let's say like West Virginia, And then when we took over that neighborhood, we tell all the white folks that from now on, they have to pay house tax. Just like they forced my ancestors to pay what? Heart tax, which means property tax. And then after that, we tell them they must speak Swahili and Yoruba. And then not only that, we take the statue of Obatala and put it in each of their homes and change all the Starbucks into shrines. And tell them from now on, forget Jesus. Obatala is the creator of the universe. And now, we shall baptize you. Reswa, reswa, reswa. from now on, you are no longer Daphne O'Brien. You are Adeton Kubo or Kwon Kwon. Maybe I didn't know I was black because my name was stolen from me a long time ago. So I came to America to find my identity. See, America is very good at telling you who you should be. That's why the caste system in America puts you in your place. See, you are either Asian, Black or African American, Hispanic or Latino, Native American or Pacific Islander, white or Caucasian, and other. Now you find your place. After they told me I was black, I opened my mouth and immediately I started speaking. They said, no, you are not black. I said, They say you are an immigrant. I said, Then they say, not just any immigrant, an African immigrant. That's when I realized I was at the bottom of the totem pole. But you see, when I came here, when my coming to America was not a sad occasion, I must tell you, it was a celebration. Because you know, my ancestors and all my villagers and all the villagers were at the airport. Some of them were singing, some of them were dancing, others were whistling, saying, "Elele oh eh oh, elele oh eh oh eh, Usirudi, don't come back, don't come back, olele oh eh oh, olele oh eh oh eh, later dollar, bring us dollars, bring us dollars." But when I landed in America, I felt like the Queen of Zamunda coming to America. I was excited, I was happy, only to find out that there was nobody to pick me up at the airport. It was just going to be me and my suitcase. The loneliness of America came and gave me that big hug and told me, "Welcome to America." I was kindly escorted to the place that says exit. And I exited. And that is my beginning of my American story. Thank you.
We represented a USAID Global Innovation Exchange, and Mr. Ambassador opened door for us and talked to us. What I really experienced from him is that he is a man that loves youth, he loves change, he wants some goods to come to Africa. Unlike many of us, there's something Stanley just said here: if we don't do it, who's going to do it? Sometimes we are waiting for someone to do what we are called to do. And sometimes we don't know that we are the Joseph. I always tell people, I am a Joseph. The Joseph you see in the Bible went through a whole lot, but God sent him to Egypt for a reason. So if you don't know you're a Joseph, from this moment, you are a Joseph. You can be male or female. You are on purpose. Your life is on purpose. So my name is Sylvester Okere. I'm the president of the organization there that represents all of us. But I'm not here alone, because no leader is born to lead alone. I have great men and women who speak the same language that I speak. And some of them today, by the grace of God, are sitting right here. We have some who are actually running for offices. The first thing, a lot of people ask me every year, when are you going to run? When are you going to run? I believe in giving power, not taking power. And I believe in supporting those who are willing to lead, because all of us are leaders, whether you are home or in school or on the street. But we need to start learning how to support one another, and we need to start having our own candidates. We need to start having people who understand our distinctive language. And that's the reason why I want to recognize those powerful individuals sitting right here where our banner is. I want you to really wave your hand. Our delegates, these are African bonds that are running for office, including you, man. And some of them are unable to be here tonight. But I want to first of all appreciate them, because it takes boldness.
In the diaspora and in this important center, and the people who are going to continue the legacy and to take it to the next level. The three ladies that are going to represent us soon in the corridors of power in Maryland and Virginia and DC. I am honored to be here today. Welcome, Madam Ambassador. Very nice to see you. Welcome. And every time we are together, I am delighted. A certain development and growth in terms of our collective awareness. And I really think that we are now at a cusp in terms of life, and in terms of the world, and in terms of America, and in terms of Africa, the motherland, and in terms of humanity. And that's why I wrote this book, which is a modest, independent thinker's take on what's going on, but it's a memoir. Since I was 7 years old in the savannah of Sudan, herding calves, I started opening my eyes to the discrepancies between the rural people and the urban people, between women and men. And I just felt that certain things were not right. And that was the genesis of my journey to become eventually an advocate for social, economic, environmental justice and peace. And this book, first of all, the first book I read was the autobiography of Kwame Nkrumah when I was 17 years old. And it was also a kind of memoir, because he spoke about coming to America, going to Pennsylvania, studying.
I couldn't help but accepting the privilege you are granting me to honor our brother, our colleagues, whom I found here about a year ago, coming from Israel, as you mentioned it. He has been quite kind to teach me how to live in this country, and listening the testimony from the beginning of this tonight's ceremony, listening to all the testimonies of the tremendous job he has done here with great dedication. I can only wish for myself to start walking on his footsteps. So, as I said, I didn't prepare any speech. This is, I try to address you from my heart and spontaneously as possible, to again express my deep appreciation to the organizer of this gala evening, for the wisdom she had to come.
To Madam Ambassador, we've been in the room a couple of times, and I want to say also that I'm very happy to be here, very excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to what my role is. His Excellencies, the Ambassador from Cote d'Ivoire, I'm going to do this d'Aboté. We've actually had an opportunity to meet a couple of months ago, no, actually maybe a year ago, at the National Bankers Association, which was held here. So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see you too, and all the ambassadors and all of the ministers and everybody who is somebody, as we say. I like to have it so that we say all protocols be observed. All protocols be observed. So my role is to give an award to the ambassador, right? Labor. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was being called up to give my role. My role is good. They work to the ambassador. But let me just talk about a few things. I've been in Africa for 20 years. I've been to 8 countries. I've served a number of positions. But the key thing that I want to say real quick is that one thing we need to do as a people, all of us, is to talk to each other. What I found out of being an African American in Africa and you being an African in America is that we do not talk to each other. In order for us to do the things that I call improving quality of life, we need to communicate. You know, working in trade, there's things that we have here that you need, and there's things that you have that we need. And I'm looking forward to a 2018 where we all come together and work together for the betterment of all of us and humanity. One of my key focuses is on the young people. One of the little things that I do is I own a shoe company, for instance. That shoe company I have in place because in my trips to Africa, I found out that we don't provide shoes to all the kids. So I came back and I talked to some people in Vietnam and I said, look, we need to create some kind of shoe company that will allow me to do marketing in Africa. We did that about 7 years ago. And our focus right now is to provide shoes for over 300 million kids globally who have never owned a new pair of shoes. Now, some of us take shoes for granted. Thank you. Some of us take shoes for granted. But actually, if you really look at it, shoes are where we start from. We start from the ground up. We don't start from the top down. It's the ground up. We can have the tuxedo on, or we can have on a 3-piece suit.
Africa Foundation, we send greetings to you, and thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Jessica, so very much for this opportunity to share with you once again in this grand occasion. And if you all don't mind, let's give Michael a round of applause for emceeing and getting us through tonight. As I was thinking about some remarks for this evening, and you've heard a lot of speeches, and I am going to cut mine very short, but I thought of an African proverb that said, we are the offspring of our ancestors that would not die. Each of us that are here this evening are the offspring of greatness. Yes. We are not here by accident. Our lives are here as a purpose, and a focused purpose. Successful people are focused people. Successful people are determined people. Successful people are connected to something that is greater than themselves. Yes. We are connected to God that is greater than ourselves, that planted us here at this time. There is nobody on this planet like you. You are an original. No matter where you go on this planet of 196,940,000 square miles of this place that we call Earth, there's nobody like you. Therefore, God has purposed you for a place at this time. And because He has purposed us into being for this time, He has caused us to be here to be united, to ensure that the entire world recognize that everything that is great started in Africa. We make no apologies to that. It is evident when you look at people from all over the world who have gone to Africa to rape it, to pillage it, to take from it both its resources and its human resources. They recognize its greatness. It is time for us to recognize our own greatness. There are forces that exist that are trying to keep us divided, trying its best to ensure that we don't take our rightful place in our society. But I say, what shall we say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?
Nobody.
We are a united people if we recognize God first, look within ourselves and our talents, look to our brothers and sisters and recognize who they are and that you see yourself in their face. If we continue to do that, we will continue to rise and show the entire world that we are a great people.
To former Mayor Jackson Sims, all protocol observed. I must also not forget my sisters here. My Padua, some of the Pan-African Diaspora Women Association members, wherever you are, good evening, and thank you for being here. The Mayor of Pleasant just summed it up for us. Just before Mayor Jackson Sims also summed it all up for us. And a little bit earlier, one of the speakers, the doctor, he talked about Kwame Nkrumah and what he reminded us. Can't help but begin by taking us back to 1963, when our Pan-African leaders met and decided to reverse and undo the damage done by our colonial masters in 1885. In 1963, Kwame Nkrumah reminded us that you were not African because you were born in Africa, but rather you are African because Africa is born in you. I think we have just been reminded that for us as African people, it is important that we remember at all times who we are and where we come from. It is also important that we ask ourselves, how did we black people end up where we are today? I'm talking about our circumstances on earth, regardless of where you find us as black people. Our circumstances that allow, as some of you might have heard, our president telling our heads of states in Africa that his friends go to Africa to get rich. Why is it that the wealthiest country in the world gives to the West, and yet we are the third world country and they are the first world? Studies have shown us, the economists have told us, that if we were to stop giving to France today, France will become a third world country, and we will become the first world country. The question then becomes, so what is wrong with this picture? Why is it that we are the richest and yet we are the poorest? Why is it that we continue to repeatedly give to those who have? Why is it that those who don't actually have tell us and make us believe that we're the poor, while during the night they rob and steal from us, and during the day they give us peanuts in terms of, in the name of donations, out of what they would have stolen from us in the middle of the night. I often wonder the conversations that go on sometimes when our fellow colonial masters get together and talk about Africa and wonder what kind of people are these? That we have been exploiting them for centuries and we continue to get away with it. Again and again and again. Studies have shown that we are the most intelligent, most educated people on earth. No matter where you find us in any neighborhood, then what is wrong with this picture? What are we doing with that education? I'd like to share a little example of two brothers fetching water from the same spring for sale. The black brother puts up their stand on the left side, and the white brother puts up their stand on the other side across the street. When we come to buy the water as black people, I'd like for all of you to pretend you have a mirror in front of you and you're having a conversation with the image in the mirror, which water would you buy? The reality is the majority of us will drift over to the white brother's hand and buy his water because his water is bad because of his skin. Would like for you to ask yourself sincerely as you look at the image in the mirror, why would you buy the water from the other brother and not from the brother who looks like you? It goes back to the Berlin Conference of 1885, when the white men decided to divide the continent, chopped us up, and implemented the rule of divide and conquer. Made us believe that everything that was African was inferior and less desirable, and everything that was Western was better and more desirable. That seed of divide and conquer was planted centuries ago, and I'm sorry to say, to this day, that seed continues to thrive. It is very much alive and well. So to go back to the original question, why is it that the richest continent on earth is perceived as the poorest? Why is it that we are told how our Africa looks like when we very well know what our Africa is all about and how our Africa looks like? They tell us Africa is a continent of diseased and dying people, and we believe them. Do I look diseased and dying?
No, my sister.
Do you guys look diseased and dying?
No, my sister.
And yet, collectively, we agree when we run into them and we watch the televisions and they're telling us about how horrible Africa is. And somehow, somewhere, we are waiting for them to approve for us how we should accept our own Africa. I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. There is something wrong with this situation. That the obvious is right there in front of us as black people, but we choose to bypass it. The truth is right there in front of us, but we choose not to hear it. All because divide and conquer is alive and well within us. At what point are we going to rise up and say enough is enough? At what point are we going to rise up and say the exploitation that is going on in Africa today has got to come to an end? Do you honestly think the exploiters are going to do anything to improve our circumstances? Of course. So what is it going to take? Why is it that we can learn from what the other ethnic groups are doing? You look at the Indian diaspora, they are very organized. They are doing tremendous things in their countries of birth. Look at the Jews. They are organized. They may disagree, but when it comes to the issues of Israel, they stick together like glue.
Yes, so that's how my sister.
The same is true with the Chinese, the Mexicans, the Irish. It's not by accident that from east to west, all the motels across the country are owned by the hotels. It's not surprising that all the nail parlors across the country are owned by the Laotians. It's because they believe in themselves and in each other. They work together for the betterment of themselves. Let's try to ask the same question about us black people. We can't even get along as people from the same tribe, let alone the same country, let alone the same region and the same continent. What is it about us? It's almost as if we've undergone a genetic mutation, that the ability to get along and believe in each other and in ourselves, we're totally incapable. I don't know about that. I would like to think we are better than that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's all.
That we need to begin now
our leaders.
The process of waking up and realizing that
Start with our corrupt leaders.
we are in the wilderness as black
That's
people.
why you start.
I would like to think that the realization of what is being done to Africa today, it needs to start with introspection and ourselves having a serious conversation with the image in the mirror. You see, a leader is as good as the people around them. There are many who like to jump up and say, yes, we got bad leaders. Well, guess what? Yes, we do. I don't disagree. If all the corruption in Africa was to stop today, there is still going to be corruption in Africa. If we're going to talk about corruption in Africa, if we truly want to see an end to corruption in Africa, we have got to talk about not only the corruption within Africa, but also the corruption coming from outside Africa. I don't know if some of you have had the privilege of flying low over the DRC. They have tarmacs in the Congo, in the jungles of the Congo. 737s are flying into the DRC to pick up all the minerals and flying right outside the DRC. What are we going to do about those things? We can get rid of all the corruption in the DRC today. What about those things that are taking billions out of Africa? I'm not saying we don't have problems of our own. Yes, we do need to address the corruption within our countries, but we also need to address the bigger monster, the 10,000-pound gorilla in the room, the multinationals that are stealing billions of dollars out of Africa every year.
Yes.
But they want us to spend time fighting the monkeys and the squirrels in the room and completely disregard the 10,000-pound gorilla in the room. I would like to end by saying we're extremely intelligent, incredible African people.
Yes. Yes.
And I'd like to describe ourselves as the beautiful, intelligent, sophisticated, highly adaptable, and totally indestructible African people.
Yes.
And I have no doubt in my mind that we, a united front of Mother Africa's children, are going to rise up.
That's right.
And say enough is enough.
Yes, sir.
And that we're going to get on this train with a clear vision that is 2020 with Africa on our mind, and we will do the right thing. And that is, like President Trump said, while they take back their America, we need to take back I'd like to take a moment to thank my fellow ambassadors, but more importantly today, we are honoring my brother, Ambassador Diabate. When I first came to town a year ago, I wondered about how I was going to manage as a female ambassador with all those male ambassadors. But I can honestly tell you, it's been a wonderful, great experience. And Ambassador Diabate has been a friend from the beginning up until now. So on behalf of my staff and on behalf of the African Union Ambassador, I would like to say thank you. Before he does, you make sure that everything he needs is ready. When he comes back from work, you also make sure that his dinner is ready. When he has guests coming to the house, all he has to do is make a phone call and consider it done. It is not an easy job. We want to honor you, we appreciate you, and we worship you as the African women. Can we please give it up for Cecilia?
working with it. Your leadership is an inspiration to the young generation. Excellence is never an accident. It is the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. Awarded on Saturday, December 16, 2017, in Washington, D.C., USA, the 5th annual gala of the United Aid for Africa Foundation. It is our sincere pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for all of you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. But I would like to start by telling you that I'm so surprised and so moved where to start. Je suis très ému. I mean that I'm so moved that I don't have the word to express my feeling actually. But I'll do my best to first start by thanking everybody who has done the effort to come tonight to participate in this great event organized by the United Aid for Africa, led by a great lady, Mrs. Jessica Bintu Diomande. And I will start by asking you to give her once more a standing ovation. Excellencies, dear colleague ambassadors, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking on your very busy schedule to be here tonight to participate in this great event. Your presence tonight is once more the testimony of our friendship, our brotherhood that we have always maintained during our tenure of service here. Done all this effort to be here tonight to participate in this great event. In addition to the mayors, we have CEOs, business community, NGOs, press, and over high-level community members who are attending this event. I want to thank you for being here. I cannot proceed without mentioning the presence of the representative of the State Department here tonight. They are our, let's say, hosts, and I'm very happy and glad to notice that they are among us tonight. I will proceed by saying that there are some among you who are not ambassadors, who are not CEOs, who are not mayors, but who are very important to me. Among those people, I particularly want to mention my brother, as he mentioned, Stanley Stropher.
I say my brother because he's from Philadelphia. And as I mentioned, I'm a citizen. I will permit the honorary a citizen of Philadelphia. They gave that citizenship to me, I think, twice. Because by the way, I've served here as the ambassador of Cote d'Ivoire twice. During President Bush time, and then during President Obama time. I mentioned them because they are the one I presented my credential to. And during that period, we have worked closely with the city of Philadelphia, and my brother and friend Stanley was a key actor of the strengthening of that relationship. If we are here tonight, we are first here to recognize what our daughter, Yesita Bintu, and her foundation, the United Aid for Africa, is doing. They are doing a tremendous job. I still remember I was still in Brazil. Before I come here, one of our staff members, one of the diplomats, told me that, Mr. Ambassador, there is a young lady here, she's a student. She is preparing to study and prepare a PhD. When you come, you will notice that she's a very, let's say, organized young lady. For sure you'll be impressed. And that lady who was speaking about Jessica is the one who was dealing with the student issues. She was counselor, but her day-to-day duty was to take care of the student. I left her here and I went to Brazil, and when she heard that I was coming, she just mentioned that to me. When I come, I discovered that she was right. So, since then, we have continued to follow what she's doing. You remember, those who know my country, Cote d'Ivoire, our very first president, President Félix Houphouët-Boigny, used to say that je ne veux pas que la Côte d'Ivoire soit une oasis de prospérité dans un désert de misère.
Indeed.
Which means that I don't want my country, Cote d'Ivoire, to be an oasis. I don't know if that word exists. An island, a small island of prosperity in a desert of misery. That is the fundamental of the policy that President Houphouët-Boigny has developed. He has conceived that policy and he has developed. I'm mentioning that because this is the key issue of our continent, the key issue of our countries in Africa. Because most of the people, they come, they just talk, but these are the facts. I'm telling that this is the fact because we have figures. While he was saying that he don't want Cote d'Ivoire to be an oasis of prosperity, that means that while he was working for Cote d'Ivoire, he had his mind how to help, how to assist neighboring countries who have less means than Cote d'Ivoire. That is the policy that he has conceived. And today, Cote d'Ivoire has in its population, 26% coming from the neighboring countries and coming from very far. They live there, they do their business there, as if they were Ivorian. That is the difference between those who say, oh, we want a big Africa where we move from it. But at the end of the day, nobody is moving. That is the issue. I am mentioning that because we African, we Ivorian, I say we African, we have the means to be what my dear sister
the ambassador representative of AU have just mentioned. We have everything to be what we have to be, what we should be, because we cannot understand why the continent that is one of the wealthiest on the planet is unfortunately the poorest in the planet, as she mentioned. It is because of our behavior, our conception, our vision, and I think that that's what we have to address before addressing any other issue. This is my point of view, because we, in Côte d'Ivoire, we have witnessed a long period of prosperity with all what I have mentioned, people coming from everywhere, and the Ivorians have been educated in that conception, in that vision. When somebody comes, we just welcome him, and this is written in our even national anthem, un pays de l'hospitalité, which means a country of hospitality. And we perform that by increasing, by letting the number of people coming from elsewhere to increase the number up to 26%. That's why I'm convinced that our continent can go forward and reverse the situation that we are facing, stopping to be what we are and becoming what we should be. Because you cannot be seated on 60% of the arable land in the world and instead be dying of hunger. How can you understand that? And our colleague, ambassador of African Union, has mentioned the goal of our continent through the AU, mostly through the Agenda 2063, is to reverse all these situations. An Africa without frontier, an Africa that can feed its children, its young, that will stop going to die in the Mediterranean Sea. Some have not even the chance to go to die in the Mediterranean Sea because they have become slaves in the continent. This is the issue. What should we do to reverse the situation? The question has been asked, but I'm convinced that the answer is ours. Because we have to reverse, to transform the way we behave, the way we see things, and be in conformity with what we say, because we say something, but we do the contrary. That is the issue. How can you understand that we have all these wealth, but instead we cannot transform it in prosperity for our people? Sometimes the foreigners have nothing to do with that. Maybe you will disagree, but some of you will agree. But sometimes we have our own responsibility in what is happening to us. If some people, some country can make it happen, why others cannot make it happen? Because from my point of view, if I take just an example, if Mauritius can do it, it means that Côte d'Ivoire can do it. If Côte d'Ivoire can do it, it means that another neighbor can do it. We are in diplomacy, we cannot give name of countries. If someone can do it, we can be convinced that the others can do it as well. And in the same time, we have to organize ourselves to give the key interest to education. Education is the key issue, the core
item to which all of us should give the key interest in order to go forward. But education by itself is not sufficient if you don't have the vision, the kindness that our daughter, I mean Jessica, has integrated in her policy, in her goal as founder of United Aid for Africa. That's why I started by mentioning the example of Cote d'Ivoire, where we say we don't want to be an oasis of an island of prosperity in a desert of misery. It means that we should learn to share. That's what she's doing. She's here in the US. She can even forget what is happening back in Cote d'Ivoire, but instead, every year she's working on a day-to-day basis in order to collect funds to go to take care of those who are in need. That's what we should have in mind in order to give the assistance we can to make the United Aid for Africa go forward in order to meet its goal. Before concluding, I think that I've spoken a lot. I have not so much to say because we have already spoken. What I want to say to conclude is to thank you. To thank you for having taken in your time to be here, and to thank you as well for the assistance and the contribution, the sensibility that you show as far as the goal of United Aid for Africa is concerned. And I cannot conclude completely without thanking United Aid for Africa for giving me the, I don't know if it's an award, I don't know how to qualify it, for giving me that in testimony of the kind of relationship that we have got during my tenure of service as ambassador of Cote d'Ivoire to United States of America. And what I have to say is the fact that we have worked believing in what we do, having as key priority our community, the community of the Ivorian diaspora, who has been very dear to us as the representative of my country here, the representative of President Hassan Ouattara, who give me that responsibility. And on a day-to-day basis, we do our best to be close to them during, let's say, situation of healthy situation or during the difficult situation. And the case is today, as soon as we conclude, I have to go, I don't know even the address, because they are awaiting for me there. There is a member of the community who just passed away. They are mourning tonight, but unfortunately, that coincides with this event. I told them that I wouldn't be here because I just arrived from Atlanta, or where my vice president arrived yesterday night, or let's say at 5 in the morning. So I come back, I attend this, and I'll be there. I'm telling you, they appreciate our proximity because it shows that we give key interest to them, because nobody gives a check to God to become ambassador. It is the will of God, and when we are in such a position, we should show that we are humble to our people. People always say, you are coming late, you work too hard. I tell her that, my boss works so hard, but we don't have the right to do less than what he is doing.
That is my excuse to escape. But she wants to insist. So I want to thank her for her understanding, because she has been very patient. Without her patience, for sure we cannot reach the result that we have reached. And I want to thank particularly my daughter, Jessica, who is doing a tremendous job, and for the good and nice award that she has given to me.
Une pièce pour Cécile.
And her,
Une pièce pour Cécile.
her staff and her board members, and want to thank every one of you for being here. May God bless all of us, and may God bless my beloved country, Côte d'Ivoire, and the Côte d'Ivoire-US relation. Merci beaucoup.